I'd like to welcome another local writer whose production Afghan Days, Babylon Nights has been performed to critical acclaim at Fringe for the last 2 years. Please can I introduce to Mr. Paul Finegan.
2 poems. The first one is called The Music of the Soul. It was a hard beginning for him to lay down in an instant all that he had known and learn to lift his life into the music of the soul, where time and eternity flow together, mirrored passage of water moving side by side, twin rivers from one source. Tapestries woven from births and deaths, coral building on a nearer shore. They met on the sands near Blackpool Pier. A cone of ice cream dropped into a rock pool, slick with black seaweed and the scent of ancient mysteries brought up from the deep, flung upon a beach at each new tide by echoing waves that hollow out the rock over sleeping centuries. Then, an invitation to fish and chips on the front, paper-wrapped memories of chips that burnt the tongue with sharp, scalding, salted bites, the tang of the sea, and all our beginnings. A month later they were married, and never slept a night apart, except for 3, when the children came, one by one, to punctuate their night hours with urgent cries of here I am, don't forget me, it's me. Until one morning, when the day was beginning at its usual pace, and the season turned to signal winter yet again, pavement footprints whitening in the frost, he popped to the shops for a loaf, as cold sleet found careless gaps between scarf and neck to leave wet traces on his skin. And when he came back, she was gone, taken into that great mystery of return, just like that, no warning given, no slow approach to death, no fingers coiled together in a final grasp on prim white sheets, no sitting by beds in wiped down chairs, hospital coffee cooling over long hours, watching as a body rehearses its final stillness and features change in subtle imitation of a well-loved face. No time for preparation then. Only instant departure, 1 minute here, then gone. Leaving him bereft on an empty shore, where no solace came from the deep, no mysteries revealed at each changing of the tide, only the long years ahead to find a new way of living, where eventually love distilled from years shared slowly brought him into the music of the soul, where time and eternity flow together. So the long years dissolved in that mystery of love which is never cut off, and where lovers are never left bereft. Instead, where love matures, even in the image of absence, like wine laid down for lips to taste and savour in the long journey home, brought by the music of the soul, which each may find, if love is left, to distill our days into that final happiness, where only love remains. This is an alternative Burns night poem, discovered behind a bricked up wall in Galashiels. It's called Hunting the Haggis. When hunting the haggis, it's useful to know that the haggis when hunted keeps very low. It runs really fast with its ear to the ground and jumps up a tree at the very first sound. And there it will stay, disguised as a bird, emitting strange sounds which seldom are heard by rabbit, by man, by sheep, or by beastie. It's the sound of the haggis, avoiding the feasting. Sometimes it thinks it even can fly and launches itself out into the sky. That is the time when you really must heed. For if it falls on your head, you'll be very soon deed. Well, the haggis, they say, is the hardest to hunt. Will evade you by car, by plane, or by punt. At the sound of a hunter, it's off in a trike, and has even been known to escape on a bike. But if you're hunting the haggis, do not be afraid. Just go out and buy Barbara's Haggis Hunt Kit. Yes, this will equip you with all that's required to hunt down the haggis until it's expired. I tell you, my friend, it's not just a rumour, but the haggis, you know, is laid low by humour. It's a sucker for slapstick and loves Benny Hill. Of Morecambe and Wise, it can't get its fill. So put on the kilt with fake hairy knees, the squeezable sporran that gives out a wheeze, and place on your hair the revolving hat with a box on the top for the pet family cat. False nose, run by battery that swivels around, is often quite useful, or so I have found, with a light bulb shoved up to give out a spark and make it glow red when you're out in the dark. Then with sombre demeanour take to the moors, start hunting the haggis and give it no pause. Through a megaphone loud you could shout it a joke, and at this, if you're lucky, the haggis will choke. But as soon as it sees you, this kit shows its worth, for the poor wee haggis will be convulsed with mirth. Yes, that's how the haggis arrived on your plate. Hunted by humour was this haggis's fate. So eat up your haggis and have lots of fun. But watch out for laughter as it sinks to your tongue. Remember where excess of humour can lead. Just look at this haggis. It laughed till it did.